Live coverage from the Australian Grand Prix here at Albert Park. There is a great energy around the circuit this Friday. The sun has come out. It's a dazzling autumn day, and we're looking forward to having supercars back on track.
Now, we're hearing there could be an issue with the lights, so keep an eye on the starters rostrum to the left-hand side of your screen. So you can see the flags up on the top of the pit building. It's a southerly out there at the moment, and it has picked up. The wipers are on Brodie Kostecki's car momentarily just to sweep across that screen. Watch to the left-hand side. Up goes the 5-second board. Revs up to peak. They're finding the bite point. They're about to launch. Watch the Aussie flag, and for the second time this weekend in Melbourne, supercars are underway. Nice start by Van Gisbergen. Brown wants to argue the case. Shane out to the racing line and tries to sweep down, but he loses the lead. Does he hang on and off and outside and in the weeds, one of the Penrite cars? So did Van Gisbergen manage to hang on? No, Will Brown. And in fact, Brodie's up there as well. So not a great start for Shane on the super soft tyre. Now argues the case, nose to tail for the Coke cars, but Brown hangs on in turn 3.
Great job. Given the tyre compound differences, those tyres have worked unbelievably. I don't want to be on the outside now. Does he get through? Oh my God, that was close.
On the outside, turn 5 at a cold tyre. That is spooky. We've got a safety car flag, or should I say a yellow flag out there at the moment, indicating that the SC is going to go out. So whatever happened down there at turn 1, it's delivered someone into the gravel, and that someone is David Reynolds, and it's well buried. So his day is done after a very strong start in Newcastle. Came into the race today 6th in the championship. Can't believe the start for Van Gisbergen, who should have been able to convert an advantage with those tyres. What a ripping start for Will Brown. Well, that was interesting.
That was. I thought for sure that the hard tyre on that opening lap would be such a disadvantage, but he's done a remarkable job there, and he even drove around the outside to have that position taken off him. Watch this jump. It was a beautiful jump by both of them, but Brown got away really well.
The onboard would be interesting.
Little rub.
Yeah. And he hung on. I thought Shane was going to get there around the outside. It was a big lock-up back in the mid-pack, and then there was some hip and shoulder back here. The wide shot might tell a little more of the story. So nice job by Will to get down the inside. Okay, so Cam Waters, David Reynolds, and Mark Winterbottom were the protagonists down there at turn 1. And unfortunately for David, that car's been buried in the gravel. It's exactly done what it's designed to do, which is to stop the cars heading down there at high speed. If you recall, a few years ago, Nick Percat had a shocker down there. Remember, they had a brake trauma when he was driving for Brad Jones Racing and fired deeply down there. Here we are on board now with David. Listen for this. There was a bit of rear brake locking going on there, but there might have also been some other bumpers helping the cause.
So the issue there, when we saw the back of David Reynolds' car,
that doesn't look good.
Percat's car alight. That's not good. Need to get to the nearest fire stop.
Still under the control of the safety car as the cars roll down pit straight at Albert Park. They've been given an all clear and green. They're under the control of Will. The speed is steady at this point. Once they get to a nominated point, they can overlap but not overtake until they get to the control line, where you saw that Aussie flag a little earlier.
This is good strategy. It's on the hard tyre, remember? Get it really wide. Exactly. Well done. Very, very clever, Will Brown. Great restart.
Green flag. We're back underway. Repco Supercars Championship. The Borough Pairs Melbourne Super Sprint. And Will Brown leads them into turn 1. Van Gisbergen tucked behind. Then Kostecki, Feeney, Courtney, Mostert, Davis, Di Pasquale, Randall, then LeBrock. And a post-race investigation for what happened down there at turn 1, where David Reynolds had already gone into the gravel and triggered the safety car. Up on the outside with some grip in hand, Van Gisbergen. If he can pull it off, he has the ideal line when they get to the left-hander, but he didn't quite get away with it. Gives him a little nudge. He's in the middle of a Coca-Cola sandwich at the moment. Have a look at Kostecki having a crack here as well. What a great start to this race.
Unbelievable. Great driving by all those guys there. Real respect. Lots of room given. And Van Gisbergen's been caught back. He's gone way back to 6th after that exchange.
Sometimes when you're trying to hustle and you get out of step with the rest of the pack, you can be monster. Remember, there's differences with tyres. Courtney's got a super soft tyre and it's working to his advantage at the moment. That's him in the Snowy River Caravans entry. Mostert's in there as well on a super soft tyre. Our leader is Kostecki. His teammate Brown is in the game here as well. Now we've got Courtney up into second. Chaz down the inside, and the Red Bull boys have got their hands full.
What a fantastic opening race, because we actually thought at that point there you couldn't get through 5 and 6 together. They've driven around there in dual formation without bumping each other off the road. Beautiful driving.
Hectic on the approach to turn 11. Incredible intensity at the restart point. Big lock up into 13. You can hear the tyre squealing in the background as now Will Brown comes in to take the compulsory stop. And he's followed by a bunch of other drivers. Davison, LeBrock, Payne, Heimgartner, Pye. They're all in the lane as well, together with Cam Waters, who's way down the order at the moment. Pit lane congestion is going to be an issue.
Now, those people that stopped early are a big chance to win this based on what's gone on here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've taken the pain
They've taken the pain straight away.
Shortened race.
Yeah.
It's a 6-lapper, we've been informed, because of the delay with the F3 race and then our safety car intervention. Wow. Heart rates are up. Eyes are darting everywhere, trying to figure out how this is going to play out. We saw a very, very intense motor race yesterday that was resolved by just 1/10 of a second. The qualifying margins in the first couple of qualifying sessions that we saw were already crazy. We've got another couple of quali sessions tomorrow morning before the race, and then a final race on Sunday. And this is an official round of the championship, the 5th time that we've had one at this location. And we'd never before raced on a Thursday, but we got stuck into it hard yesterday, and they've amped it up another level for today. Kostecki leads from Courtney. Mostert is flying out there at the moment. He's got purple against his name. His first sector, faster than anybody else. Di Pasquale covers down the inside. He's getting enormous pressure here from Brock Feeney. First in the queue that is stopped, by the way, is Macaulay Jones.
Yeah.
He is sitting 13th at the moment in the Pizza Hut entry. More cars now will peel off. Di Pasquale, one of them, joined by Thomas Randall in the Castrol entry. And Chaz Mostert from 3rd position has come in here as well. So keep an eye on Macaulay Jones and see whether or not the advantage that he's got from pitting early puts him in good shape. Randall. Rear tyres only.
Yeah. So Macaulay Jones is currently 9th. And this is just going to pole vault him towards the front based on that strategy early. So clever teamwork and strategy from that team.
And just enough weirdness in the weather. There is Macaulay. Just enough weirdness as it was yesterday to scramble this thing up. But he is under pressure. It's far from an easy beat for him at the moment because it's all going on. Frosty's firing away out there as well at the moment. We are watching this like hawks. Jones, Hill, Smith, Winterbottom are all together, but having stopped, it's Jones followed by Winterbottom, that car there. So keep an eye on Frosty. There goes the Pizza Hut entry. And there's the yellow and black DeWalt car. So on correction, those guys are potentially battling for a podium here at the moment, depending on how they feed out.
Yeah, so Winterbottom, they will have told him already that the leader, after these stops, is just up the road. So Macaulay Jones is 8th, Mark Winterbottom is 10th. Brodie Kostecki is actually leading the race from Courtney and Van Gisbergen. But remember, they haven't stopped. There's Brad Jones.
With Paul Scalzo from the engineering group at Brad Jones Racing. And they know exactly what the scenario is there at the moment. Last year, Macca had a 6th at this location. He actually runs strongly here. This could be a gigantic moment in his career. And the guy behind him has been a Bathurst winner. He's been a supercar champion. He's got a vast amount of experience as Feeney peels in now. So does Declan Fraser.
So do you tell him? Do you tell Macca what's going on? Do you say to him, 20... See, what's going on really seeing it come in. No. There's something wrong with the timing, isn't there? No, he's in.
Okay, so now this is confusing. So the first in the queue showing a stop was
Macaulay Jones.
Okay, we've got trouble here for LeBrock. So LeBrock has clobbered the wall. He's got damage on the left front of that car.
Safety car boards and flags, safety car boards and flags.
James Taylor in the background calling a safety car for the second time in this race. And that's probably the third or fourth driver this weekend that we've seen running wide on the exit of 8. So the only thing I can think of is that Macca jumped too early on the window, that the window wasn't open, that they had to actually bring him back in. So that's one that's got away, if that's the case.
Well, it is, but still works for Winterbottom.
Winterbottom is absolutely in the box seat here at the moment. But there will be a safety car, and will this be concluded under the safety car, depending on how long it takes to resolve the clean-up for Jack. It's the sole remaining Mobil 1 car out there at the moment for Chaz Mostert. He's all over the back of Brock Feeney. So these guys are still nose to tail, despite the yellow flags. They're trying to hustle, but not hustle too hard.
Well, this is always one of the dangerous aspects of our game, because the yellow flags are out, but you're still pressing on pretty hard because you know it's all about track position. And there's the stricken car there of LeBrock. They're all blazing by. Now, I'm hearing also that Winterbottom stopped too early too, Neil.
Okay.
So, oh, my God.
All right, folks, are you keeping up at home? And if so, can you please send us an email, because we need to.
I just heard it just start to rain.
That'd be if the internet worked here.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. So, Frosty back in the lane. So, scratch everything that you heard before. And now we've got a completely different scenario. So, Kostecki, Courtney, Van Gisbergen, Golding, Fullwood, Winterbottom and Smith all in the lane. And that, I think, then leaves us with Feeney and Mostert at the top end of town, if my math is correct.
Yes.
So far, I haven't been too accurate in the prediction business.
Nostradamus.
So, and this is the reason that group were hustling, because they want to know where they're going to feed in relative to those that have taken their stop. So this is a gigantic ball of string to actually unpack.
Well, and the bit that's going to be intriguing is those guys that just stopped, they'll have hot tyres. These guys that have just come out.
This will finish under safety car.
So, yeah, just heard in the background, this is going to finish under the safety car.
Just robbed us. Because the bit that was going to be good is the cold tyre scenario on the opening lap of this, but it's going to finish on the safety car.
So what's happened with those that were held up by the safety car and slowing them down to such an extent has allowed those that just stopped to come in, take their service and get out. That's going to deliver, it seems, a safety car victory to Brodie Kostecki. What an extraordinary after. Now, he's never won a supercar race. He's had a couple of second positions. He had a stunning pole at Sydney Motorsport Park last year. It does confirm the form that we've seen from these guys, but what a bizarre storyline this afternoon for supercar racing.
Oh, absolute craziness.
And potentially James Courtney, who benefited from the super soft tyre at the start, getting in here and splitting Kostecki and Van Gisbergen.
I'm just looking at his stats. He's had a couple of seconds, but you're 100% right. He hasn't had a win, so this is a very, very big moment for Brodie.
He was second in race 2, Sydney Motorsport Park last year, and he was second race 5, Sandown 2021. So nearly, but not quite. But pole position has gone to him in 2022. And there's James Courtney, who's going to steal a trophy for position 2 this afternoon. And I think this is going to be something of an indication of the kind of day or afternoon, and perhaps the weekend we may have, with this weather in the background just creating a question mark. And that's what really changed the game, with who could do what with their tyres. So we'll get to the story of what's gone on there. What it'll be is it'll be regarded as the end of lap 2, where you can take the stop.
Yep.
But they've come into the lane
on lap 2.
On lap 2, so they've come in and haven't done that extra lap. So it'll be an argument over where the line is on the arrival into the pit lane. I'm glad that I'm in the commentary box and they can all go and have a friendly, warm, engaged and lucid discussion about that.
So Brodie Kostecki, first win. James Courtney, Shane Van Gisbergen, his young teammate Brock Feeney, Mostert, Di Pasquale, Will Brown, Bryce Forward, Thomas Randall, James Golding. Lucko?
Yeah, it was unusual watching Winterbottom come down there on his own. There was obviously something up. And the other thing that's mixed up the order here, mate, you're onto it earlier, Scafey. The people that went out on hard tyres, obviously we're going to put then the soft tyre on and had to put 4 tyres on. I counted a couple of stops. They're about 9 seconds long. Those that went out on soft tyres just put 2 rears on, about 3 seconds, because it was declared wet at the start of the race like yesterday. Wow, if it ain't confusing enough, add that to the mix.
Yeah, not an easy thing to unpack or for all of us to fully grasp, but there we go. This afternoon, the checkered flag is going to fly for the very first time in his career to Brodie Kostecki, and it'll be a bizarre feeling for him, but you take them any which way you can get them. So Kostecki over Courtney and Van Gisbergen, and they all trickle back into the lane. We get to see them twice again tomorrow for qualifying, 2 different compounds of tyres, and then an additional race tomorrow, followed by a final race on Sunday morning. So big moment for the Coca-Cola Racing by Erebus outfit, once again showing great speed, and Brodie Kostecki home across the line in front of all others with his teammate Will Brown down in 7th position, and that's what they've been battling for today. Here's the confirmation of the unofficial results. There'll be some discussion around elements of this. Kostecki, Courtney, Van Gisbergen, Feeney, Mostert, Di Pasquale, Brown, Forward, Randall and Golding. And looking onto the second page here, Mark Winterbottom, Declan Fraser. Not a bad result for Declan. And then 12th, Will Davison. Macaulay Jones, after we thought could have been in the box seat, had to come in for the second stop. Slade, Smith, Hill, Heimgartner, Payne and Scott Pye. And then further beyond Scotty, we had Cam Waters, Todd Hazelwood, David Reynolds, Jack LeBrock. Unfortunately for Jack, damage on that car. For David Reynolds, beached into the gravel at turn 1. And for Nick Percat, the awful situation of a pretty substantial fire for the Mustang. And that's going to sideline that car. So they were battling for the Larry Perkins trophy.